I was very careful not to waste time. I didn't have time on my side. I didn't. You have some time. Explore.
Just do what I ask you to do. It's just straightforward.
How bad do you want it? If you want it really bad, you get it done. The future is interesting. A lot has changed since COVID.
Welcome back to the show, guys. It's Off the Terminal, and I am Sandreva Phillips. So, as usual, I have a guest on the show. He is somebody who transitioned from design to software development. He's currently a senior web developer / tech lead at Fuzz Digital in South Africa. So here today, we're talking about how he got there, how the journey was like, what he does in that role, and life generally as a tech lead. So please help me welcome John Afolabi. How are you doing, John?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm fine, cold, but fine. So let's dive right into it. I want to know how you got into front-end development, why you left design. Oh, it's not as if you left, right? You're still doing both.
Still, yeah.
How did that journey come to be?
Okay. So, like I was telling you off that I started as a graphic designer.
Yeah.
So while I was doing that, I was really fascinated about, okay, how can these designs, or how could they actually get into the web space?
Yeah.
Where people can, interact with it. All right. So basically moving from just static designs into dynamic designs. All right. So that was what caught my fancy at the initial stage.
What year was that?
It was a long time ago. Say 2008.
My God.
2009.
You know, that's how old people usually It's a long time ago.
It's a long time ago, yeah.
Wow, 2008.
So, yeah, I started off, I think from a young age, I'd always wanted to be in tech. But, a lot didn't afford me the opportunity back in Nigeria. I remember going to, I don't know if you know this school back in Nigeria called, I can't remember the name now, but it was one of the very big tech schools.
Which area?
It was in Lagos.
Is it JIT or Cisco? Or
No. It was one of those very early IT schools. I remember going there then to make inquiries. They told me the entry fee was, I think, almost $500,000 naira.
What,
you can imagine
at that time?
Yeah. I mean, it was quite expensive. I just, looked at myself, dusted myself, and, just walked away. So I think between then and before I came to, South Africa, I delved into music. But while doing music, I still had eyes for designs. I'm one person that believes that, there's a, when you have passion for something, and then you go to learn that thing. So I know I've always had passion for designs, I can look at something and tell you, okay, this doesn't look good. Some people, some of my friends see me and say, I think you've got OCD. Because I can walk into a space and say, no, why is that chair tilted? No, it should be this way. You get what I mean? So that's where it started from. I don't know if I got it from my mom or from my dad, but I just love good designs. Yeah.
So you from design came after the music?
I wouldn't say after.
Or during?
Let me tell you a story. So back when I was in secondary school, I think I was in SS2 or SS3, which is, I don't know what grade it is here, I think 11 or 12. You're expected to go to school from Monday to Friday.
Yeah.
Right? I would go to school on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. Thursday, you wouldn't see me at school. Friday, you wouldn't see me.
And your parents allowed that?
Well, I wasn't staying with my parents, I was staying alone.
Oh,
yeah,
exactly.
Wow. So on Thursday, I would be somewhere learning computer designs and all the stuff. On Friday, I'm somewhere learning the piano and all the stuff. And it was because, I looked at my timetable. Math, English, physics, chemistry, those important subjects were being done from Mondays to Wednesday. So
they have those Yoruba.
How did you know? You have all those, Yoruba. Not to say they're not important subjects, but for me, this one I can always catch up on. Really? So that was my secondary school.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Oh, that's it. So when did you now start learning about front end development?
Interesting. A year before COVID. How about that? Yeah. So look at the gap. Yeah. A year before COVID, I just sat down. I was looking at the economic landscape of being a musician. I don't want to delve into music. It's always finding a way to creep into my conversations, but I'll stick to, development.
Yeah.
So just a year before, I was looking at the economic landscape of being or remaining a musician. And I told myself, no. I need to achieve this. I need to have achieved this. To have achieved that. And then I looked inwardly to say, look, I've got these talents. Yeah. And then tech was beginning to become a thing then.
I said, popular.
Exactly. So I dusted off, my certificate. I think I've got NQF4 from AAA. I hope I'm allowed to, mention
that's
names.
Fine.
Okay. AAA is cool. Yeah. So I have NQF4. Is it 4 or 5 from AAA? I've done front-end development from there.
Yeah. So it's like a boot camp?
Yeah, like an evening school because I was working then as a full-time musician somewhere. Okay. So I dusted that. I think 2020. What year was COVID? Was it 2020?
Yeah, it was 2020.
Yeah, I dusted that, and of course, some of my musician friends, some of them had also transitioned into tech, and I could see clearly how well they were doing. So I started calling them up to say,
"Show me the way."
Sorry, I'm Nigerian. Show me the way. And, some of them were really gracious to, open up to say, look, this is it. This is how you get into it. Mm-hmm. Of course, interview process, you would need to present certain projects that you've worked on.
Yeah.
So what I did was to break it down. First, I needed to polish my, skill. I went online. There's this platform called... not Indeed. I'm trying to remember now, but I'll remember in the course of conversation. I went online, free online courses. I think I did about 12 of them from HTML, CSS, just brushing up HTML, CSS.
From places like Code Academy or Free Code Camp.
Yeah. There's this particular one. It was quite free, but I had access to syllabus from schools, like all these Ivy League schools in the US. Very, very, very nice. So I was just because it was free.
Yeah.
Of course, you'd have to apply for financial aid, which I did. I think I did about 12 of them, just brushing up and everything. So that was one, just brushing up on my knowledge base. Then I knew I needed to have done 1, 2, 3, 4 projects before I could land a job. So I started calling all my friends. Don't you want to start up a company? Oh, yeah. Oh, some of them would say, I already have a company. Do you have a website? No. Don't worry, I'll do it for you for free. So, I started doing websites for friends, for those who cared. I just was doing websites for friends. So doing that, I came up with a very solid portfolio, all right, with some of the designs I'd done in years past. So I just put everything together. Went on LinkedIn. October 2020. So I think on the 1st of October 2020, that was the first time I would be on LinkedIn. By the 7th, I had to shut down my profile.
Why?
Because I was scared. Recruiters started reaching out to say, there's this job there, and there were questions that they were asking. I couldn't even, it was quite overwhelming. I pulled it down. Contacted some of my friends to say, look, they're asking this question, they're asking that question. What is C2C? What is this? They're like, no, chill. Okay, when they ask this one, this is what it means. When they ask this one. So after, I think, about 10 days, I went back, switched my LinkedIn account back on, then replied to 1 or 2 of the recruiters. And they were, quite interesting. I went through the interviews. I didn't get the job. The one that came through was around, I think, November/December. So this one came from Indeed.
Oh.
All right. The guy just called me up to say, I saw your portfolio. Did you do all the designs? Now, look at it. They were not referring to the websites I built. They were referring to the designs, which has been my very strong area. I was like, yeah. And before you know it, 10, 11 days, I'd signed my first contract. So yeah, that's how officially I entered into the front-end development space.
And this person, where is he based? This company that is
it's here in South Africa.
In South Africa, right?
Yeah, I actually started my IT journey here South Africa. Yeah.
That's nice. So which one would you say you enjoy the most, designing or developing?
It's interwoven. I can't say I enjoy design and not development. So, like I said,
so you enjoy every step of the journey.
Yeah, when I was doing the static, designs, I was always keen on how this can be dynamic on the web space.
Yeah.
So getting into web development was me seeing my designs go live and people interact with it, and it's solving business, issues, bringing solutions and all. Yeah.
That's interesting. I also saw that you have like a long list of text languages and tools that you use. And I'm interested in knowing how you choose which of those tools and languages to actually learn part-time, because you couldn't just have learned everything at once. You started somewhere. Is it by project, or just maybe you found an interest in a tool and you wanted to just learn how to use it?
Okay, so getting into tech, I think it's one of the most difficult terrains to navigate.
Yeah.
And that's because there are just a lot of things. I mean, now we were talking off air that the domain now is so much that if you're not careful, you'll be... Okay, so let me talk about the hype of IT. People talk about IT. If you're in tech, you're making so much money. So there's the hype and there's the reality, what's actually happening. All right. So I feel a lot of people are just stuck in the hype. Okay, you can do this, you can do that. And then when they sit down to say, okay, let me start something. And they're like, okay, so where do I start from? All right. So for me, I was lucky to have surrounded myself with tech guys. Yeah. That was one thing I did. I didn't cut off my music friends, no. But I made conscious effort to speak more to those that are in tech.
I mean, even some of your music friends were also transitioning to tech,
yes.
so they still remain.
Those ones I kept close. So those ones that were no. I just need to focus. Yeah. So they were I mean, I was telling you about this other guy who is in software testing. I wanted to go into software testing, but I'm like, okay, I needed something that would be in line with the fact that I've been doing designs. Yeah. So you see, that helped me to narrow down into web development.
Yeah.
Do you get what I mean? I wasn't even looking at backend, because now if you look at backend, people who go into backend, hardly would you be able to show people, okay, this is what I'm doing.
Yeah, except you're full stack.
Except you're full stack. Yeah, then you'd have built still something on the front end to show people. Something. Do you get what I'm saying? So I just felt, okay, to quickly get into this space and for people to see what I could do was web development. So I was able to narrow down to HTML, CSS, JavaScript. Those three I mastered.
Yeah.
All right. So I started building front end stuff.
Without any front end libraries or frameworks. So.
Of course. So I dabbled into React.
But you don't like it anymore?
I feel it's just very complex. Look, we're talking about time. If you have time on your hand, there's certain decisions you would make. If you don't have time on your hands, then you look at the quickest way to get in. Quickest way was, you see, the same framework you said you didn't like, WordPress. That was the thing for me. Because it afforded me the drag and drop, features. Yes. I could quickly whoop up something, for people to see.
I think that's also similar to like design as well, where you can drag and so it's your thing.
You get what I mean? Yes. You see, I was very careful not to waste time. I didn't have time on my side. I didn't. That's why when I speak to young people who are in their early 20s or late 20s, I speak to them to try and understand where they are and not to pressure them into what I'm doing. To say, look, you have some time, explore. Yeah. The IT field is vast. For me, I knew what I wanted. I wanted to transition from digital design to web. IT, web design. So for me, I like, this is just it. So I didn't waste time saying I wanted to get into backend. But if you ask me, I've found myself in projects where I had to do backend stuff. But I still, but I still put myself there as a front end develop.
Because I remember my time too when I moved into web development. I started with front end. Then I think I attended a boot camp as well. I was failing in a way in the front end, but as soon as we moved to back end,
you loved back end.
I just loved back end.
See, different stroke for different folks.
I get it because I don't have an eye for design. I hate having to center a div so many times to get what
that
I
is
want
it.
to do.
That is it.
But back end 1 + 1, the kind of logic, if else, just do what I ask you to do. It's just straightforward. I don't have to bother about design. So next question now. You do design, you do development.
Yeah.
So sometimes you have projects. I would assume that, of course, you've said that you've taken projects from start to finish.
Yep.
And there's usually like a time frame and a deadline.
Yeah.
So how do you know when a project or product is good enough to ship? And then how do you ensure that there is that balance between speed and quality of the product to ensure that you bring out a quality product within the time frame?
Okay, so I'm trying to remember now. Okay, a couple of projects, not a couple, actually a lot of projects that I've had to, start and finish. I mean, when you start something, there is like the goal that you want to achieve. So when I sit in meetings with clients, stakeholders, I'm listening out for, okay, what do they want to achieve?
Okay.
Do you know what I'm saying? Okay.
Like
most of the stores I've built are e-commerce stores.
Yeah.
So for e-commerce stores, they are the basics, all right? You need to have products loaded on the website. People should be able to buy, check out. So there has to be a payments gateway. That's one. There has to be shipping that is linked to the system, all right? There has to be like the follow-up, tracking and all the stuff. So those are basics. All right. So you have clients that would say, okay, yes, I want an e-commerce site, but I want 1, 2, 3, 4 functionalities in it. Take, for example, okay, I don't only want people to come and buy on my store. I want them to, when they check out, there is some form of code sent to them to share with others. Yeah, so upselling and all those. So different functionalities. So what you do is, okay, when you sit with the client, you get to know what do they want to achieve. All right. That has to form, it will inform the tech stack you want to use. As much as I say I love WordPress, there have been projects that I've done that had to be React. Of course, I'll get a React person to come in.
Yeah.
All right.
But that's just because of the needs of
the client still.
Client,
all right. So the need of the client is very important. So
I'm just going to stop you there for me to pause for a minute. We're coming back to that. Now, I want to know how you're able to determine or maybe you can just give an example of projects that cannot be WordPress based and has to be like something like React based.
Okay, so if you look at, so if you come to me as a client to say, okay, I've got about 50 to 100 products that I want to sell online. I want to be able to load my product. I mean, this is you telling me as a client.
Yeah.
I want to be able to interface with the website. I want to be able to change the product name and all those. I'll tell you, okay, WordPress is the way to, because it already has a built-in content management system, CMS. All right. But if you're going to deal with, say, you work in Amazon, for example, I mean, look at millions of products. You're dealing with not even, a local company, global.
Yeah.
All right. You can't build that on WordPress because, number one, WordPress has limits to what they can, deal with. If you look at traffic again, all right, you don't want to build a site that would have a lot of traffic on WordPress.
Often slow.
Do you know what I'm saying? So you look at that, you look at the client's needs, and then that informs what platform to use.
Okay. Yeah. All right. Thank you for answering. Let's go back to the question about speed and quality and time frame.
So the thing about speed, it's always been an issue. I mean, clients want their products done
as fast as possible.
If I'm telling them 2 months, they're cringing already. Say, no, why 2 months? Can't it be done in 2 weeks? Can't you? And sometimes we as developers are pressured into,
just accepting
cutting down on what should be. All right. So what I try to do, in those instances, well, this happened when I started, all right, where a client would say, no, I want this done quickly, and I would also say yes. And then,
Of course, you were trying to...
I was trying to make money,
Yes.
But after a while, you gain experience, and when you're talking to the client, you talk with some level of authority. So you see this, no, you can't have it in and you're talking with so much authority because if they go somewhere else, the same thing you tell them is But as a junior developer, you'll be struggling to say, what if I lose this client? What if what I'm saying is not? But like I said, so some of these things come with experience. When you've done tens, hundreds of websites, you can, for certain, say, no, this will take 2 months, and it has to be 2 months. So how do you know when a product is ready for deployment? So when you as a developer have finished with your job, it's usually not the final. As a matter of fact, one of the important process that you have to go through is feedback.
Yeah, feedback. Well, I mean, like the MVP, the initial stage, when you show to the client that, okay, this is what we have achieved. And then the feedback before the first feedback. How do you know that, okay, this is good enough to show to the client?
So, by the time you're sitting with the client, you're mapping out the goals. So this is what the client wants to achieve. So as a developer, I've finished. I go back to the brief to say, okay, this is needed. The functionality is there. So do all the checks.
Okay.
But like I can tell you now that half of the time, all right, a senior developer will just tell you, okay, well, I finished. Looks at the requirement, but you have it at the back of your mind that this might change completely.
Yes.
You get. A junior developer would frown at that because I've spent some time on this
Really,
project.
would they?
If you're not experienced, you think a client, for example, is just unnecessarily nitpicking, but it's part of the process. What the client wants is what the client wants.
True.
All right. I think as a front-end developer, I've done a fantastic job, but then the client says, "This is far from what I want." Exactly. So I've grown thick skin, to accepting such. When I hear such, in fact, now I want such feedbacks.
Okay.
Do you get what I'm saying? It's okay, can we have another meeting? How do you want this? Okay, let's meet online, or you get what I mean?
But in such cases, right, do you have it in your contract as well that if we are going to deviate so much from what we had initially discussed, then you're going to have to pay, an extra amount?
Yeah, okay, so that's a thing. Of course, that has to be spelled out in your quotation and everything. So what we're talking about now happens with small projects. Big projects would start from wireframing, prototyping. All right, so process where the client already sees the design. It's okay, yes, this is it. All right, but you see, what I'm telling you now doesn't actually happen in the dev space. All right. Maybe it happens in the Fortune 500 companies, but then for all these, web developing companies, it doesn't happen that way. I've worked in agencies. I don't know if you've worked in agencies before.
I've worked in agencies.
It's always crazy. You're
It
dealing
is.
with 20, 30 clients.
I did not work in that big of an agency.
I tell you. It's crazy.
But how small? It was small, but it was still just tiring.
Your boss is telling you, John, you have to get this rolled out today. And you're looking at your project management system, you have 3, 4, 5 other things that are waiting. You don't have time to nitpick. You just want to get this done and get it sent to the client. If there's any feedback, you deal with it. You get what I mean?
Yeah.
So there's always a thin line between knowing when a project is done. Of course, there's a checklist. You've done your thing, but still keep an open mind that there might be feedbacks that would, at the end of the day, the product doesn't look as you as a designer think it should look like.
So I guess that's why sometimes you would have to consider speed over quality in cases where you have to deliver stuff the same day. You have to also,
you get what I mean?
to consider
just get it done, roll it out, and hopefully with feedbacks, then the product gets to where it should get to.
All right. You seem like you have like not that you seem, you have a wealth of, experience, software, I don't want to say software because
web
we had a discussion about that. We're going to come to that web development experience. So I want to know what you're working on at the moment.
Not one thing. Not one. Okay, maybe when we'll get. I don't know if we'll get to a day in the life of. But I've worked on projects. What I'm working on now, I don't know. It's just a lot. I've built several sites. Now what I do now is clients. I wake up in the morning, open my project management system. The clients want 5 products loaded. There's this issue on the About Us page. Can we add?
So you have maintained a continuous contract with them to maintain.
Definitely. I've been fortunate enough to work on big projects. Skyworth. I don't know if you know the Skyworth brand. They do TVs and all those stuff.
I don't even watch TV like that.
Okay. All right. So I developed their sites. There's this other big brand, Ryobi. They deal in power tools, all your gardening stuff, So I built their sites. There's this other big brand, Home of Living brand.
I think I've heard of that.
Home of Living brand, That I didn't, but I was part of the development crew. I was more into the front end stuff. So I've worked on big brands, and that's because I was working with this, Fuzz. Fuzz gave me the opportunity to work on big brands. So now I just, get briefs, whether new build or fixing a site or dealing with a site that has been hacked, security issues. A whole lot. I'm doing one now.
Wow. So you actually deal with sites that have been hacked as
security,
well? How? I need to hear more about that.
Okay. That's not on the list, but we can delve into it.
No, because you can just give an example of something similar that happened and how you resolved it.
Okay, so what for e-commerce sites, and it's usually e-commerce site because there is a payment transaction that goes in there. All right, so look at it this way. So when I build e-commerce sites, I have to link a bank account to the site where if you're checking out, the money you pay for a product goes into that bank account. Now, if someone goes to the back end and changes the bank account or where money should go to, you as the customer, you're very innocent. You still go on the platform, still check out your product, but you see the money is going somewhere else. Now, the owner of the e-commerce store is waiting for your money to come in to say, okay, you've purchased this, we're still waiting for, did you make payment? And you as a customer is saying, no, but I made payment. You even send the owner of the store a proof. And then the customer is like, what's going on? You get what I mean? So I've had to deal with cases like that.
So how did you resolve it? How did you just have to, it's not just resolving, but making sure that such a thing did not happen again?
Okay, so what usually happens when they say a site is hacked, what hackers do is they don't just sit down to look for your site. All right. So there are files in the web space that have been programmed to look for sites that are very weak, that have very weak security measures. So the files there, they're just there. All right. So if they find your website very weak, then they attack. So what happens is they try to write scripts in the back. I mean, you're a backend person, so you know this. They try to write scripts that would change how payment is made on the back end. So what I do is to now find out, okay, where is this script?
You start looking.
All right. I look for the script, delete it. Not only delete it, then I now look for other injections that the script has done to the site. I mean, there was one I had to deal with. It was so bad that we had to shut down the site. I had to rebuild. I tried for months. I was, I delete an injection today. You find its way back in there. Wow. So
there's always like something somewhere that bringing
because look at website. there are tens or hundreds of files.
Yes.
How do you track that down? Maybe now with the advent of AI, that it's easier. But I haven't had to deal with security issues, I think, in the last one year. But before then, it's always an issue, particularly with WordPress.
I mean, all the CMS sites have a lot of that. Because I once created a site on Wix as well, and I just don't know. It was like the same day I was getting phishing emails, and I was like, what is happening? They were posing as Wix, and I'm like, I'm not even that interested in this site.
So that's it.
I'm like, it's just so bad. So let's talk about, when we had the conversation first, I said we're going to talk about your software engineering experience, and you're like, no, you're not a software engineer. You're a web developer. Okay. So I want to know what you think is the difference between a web developer and a software engineer.
Okay, so an engineer, I think you're a software engineer, right?
Yes.
So you guys have the ability to understand the project from the beginning to the end. Yeah. When I say beginning to the end, you're not only looking at front end, you're looking at back end, you're looking at every other puzzle of the piece. Yes. Your strong area might not be front end, so you might have to employ someone. But then you see, when it comes to think of any building, the not only the architecture, but the science behind why this roof would not fall on us. Yeah. Do you get what I'm saying? If you bring it to web development, engineers are the ones that know the effect of a traffic on a site. I mean, if you tell a layman, I just want people to visit my site. Hey, when you have tens of thousands of people visiting you, it's a different ball game. See, that's where engineers come in. They'll project to say, no, if this site that you have can only, manage 0 to 1,000 visitors per time.
So I'm kind of like seeing it as a structural engineer kind of, vibe, where they are the informed people on how well a building or how safe a building is. Yeah. So the way you're explaining just made me remember.
That's actually it.
So what about web developers? What's the difference? You just paint the walls? Because you do more than paint the walls, though. Yeah. Are you like the manager of everything? No, you can't.
No. See. Okay, I mean, before the show, I'm sure you had time to do your makeup and everything, and it has to look perfect. You cannot have one eyebrow not aligned to the left. People are going to look at you funny. So when you get on a website and it just looks fun. In fact, one of the ways a website is fishy is if it's not well designed, well put together. Yeah. All right, you're trying to click a button, a call to action button, it's not working, or it's just all over the place. Yeah. Do you get what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Then you begin to question. That's where we come in. Everything has to sit. It's funny how we don't pay attention to designs. All right, a layman will say, why is this website like this? They might not be able to tell you, categorically what's wrong, but it's just not put together. All right. Mm-hmm. So the beauty of a website, not only painting, but making sure that a call to action button works, does what it says it will do. Do you get what I'm saying? In all of these things, there's a psychology of shopping or engaging with a web page. Yeah. All right, you need to understand that people get easily put off if what they want to do on the website is not getting done. Yeah. Do you get? I mean, it can be as simple as that. There's something called bounce rate on websites. So they check bounce rate. Bounce rate is how often do people get on a landing page, and then they just leave. Yeah. Do you get what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Now, when you delve into bounce rate, you would notice that if your landing page is not well put together, if it puts people off, for example, you're mixing red with orange, with yellow, come on, it just puts people off. You get what I mean? So whatever it is you're building as a front-end developer has to be appealing. I think that's the word. It has to be appealing. As
a web developer now, you're all things web. You focus on the front end side of things and not the engineering part of the back end, right? Okay, that's interesting. Now, what would you say your 6 years, it's been 6 years, right, of experience has taught you? What have you learned the most from your experience so far?
Okay, well, it depends on where the question is going. I think what has taught me is that there's nothing impossible anymore that you cannot learn. I mean, 6 years. A friend was telling me, okay, how could you have moved in 6 years? You've moved from just being a developer to a senior developer. All right. It's, of course, I can tell you, it's a lot of time put into researches, studies, not chickening out when they give you tough builds.
I mean, I like to chicken out.
No, if you're going to rise up the ranks really quickly,
yes, I've learned that now.
You cannot, you cannot chicken out. You have to. I mean, the briefs that I've gotten, and I'm asking myself, how do I even begin? But you see, when I ask myself, how do I begin? I quickly tell myself there are resources available for me to get this done.
Yeah.
Hence, when I heard that you do this, podcasting, I quickly told you this is actually a good thing, because some of us are a product of what's all this free online stuff that we learned. All right, listening to someone who never gave up on. So a lot I've learned within this time. Like I said, one thing remains: nothing is impossible. There's nothing you want to do now that you cannot do.
So far, you stay in it.
Right? You stay in it. Except you don't. I mean, I ask people, how bad do you want it? If you want it really bad, you get it done.
Yeah, because I was talking to a friend of mine recently as well. And, I was complaining about how I want to do a lot of things, but it seems I'm not doing it. And he just said, you want to do those things, but to your psychology hasn't realized that it's priority yet. So you're just enjoying what your body wants, and you have not schooled your mind to
get things done.
Yeah, so I learned that. So I've been trying to change my ways. And it's been good, since I changed my mindset, I've been able to, it seems so easy now to be able to focus on what I want to focus on, which I think is beautiful. How do you ensure that, because there are so many techs coming up, we have like tooling system, but you're not an engineer, so you probably don't have to work with a lot of tooling, but you do have to do that for WordPress at least. How do you ensure that you stay up to date on those tools to ensure that you are giving your client as many options as possible to be able to achieve?
Number one, podcast.
So what podcast do you listen to then that has...
So a lot. I mean, a whole lot. Like I can spend my Saturdays from morning till maybe evening just scrolling on the streets of YouTube, watching different podcasts. I mean, now we have Claude AI, Cursor, we have GenSpark, we have... People don't even talk about ChatGPT. Poor ChatGPT. But yeah.
I'm still pro ChatGPT.
Oh, please.
I think because it was the first one I paid for, so I'm trying to...
Look, so there's this one, Claude. It's crazy.
I know it is.
I'm telling you. I mean, I love sci-fi movies, by the way. And, it's interesting. I tell my friends, I think it's the best time to be alive, because you get to see those things that are, like you're watching sci-fi come to life. Now I have an AI that opens my web browser, does a landing page for me based on my prompt. I mean, how cool is that?
Right. We suffered to do that while we're learning how to code. Now people can just go on and do whatever it is they want.
Come on. Right now I feel like I'm 10x, of myself, compared to last year. I mean, I'm working on 3, 4, 5 projects at the same time. I've got 3 screens. Claude is doing this, Claude is doing that. I'm busy doing one in the middle. It's crazy.
Yeah.
You get what I mean? So how do you stay on top? You got to put yourself out there. Listen to podcasts. There are tons of information out there that you cannot... Like I said, the question remains, how bad do you want it? If you want it really bad, you will get it done.
True that. True that.
Yeah.
So, because if you're talking about podcasts and how much work you have to do in a day, I want to know what your typical day is like.
Yeah. So that I just wake up, log into my project management system. There are tasks waiting. All right. So the company I work for now, I was telling you off air that I moved to another company. So there are different account managers. I think they manage.
Are they also an agency?
Yeah, but not here.
Yeah.
It's in the US. So they have several companies they work for. All right. So I just wake up when it's time, log in. There are tasks waiting for me. This company wants this landing page done. And there are a lot of landing pages, particularly if you work with such agencies where they have digital marketers. Digital marketers want to build landing pages specifically for a product. So I'm building landing pages. I'm fixing this. This company wants to change their phone number on all the websites. So you have to. You can imagine having like 150 pages, and you have to. Now I have Claude, so what does that? I don't need to bother myself. Search and replace. Get it done. So like a whole lot. Like I said, I put myself out there as a front-end developer, but I think my day-to-day is more of a full stack, because sometimes, the company I work for now, I manage their server. Yes, I manage their server where I launch instances of WordPress and different web applications. So yeah, it's a lot. But first, I get on my project management system, see what tasks are there, and then of course timelines and everything. If I'm not able to finish this because of one project I'm working on, I message the account manager to say, can you please push this to this time? There are tools out there that help you stay organized.
And so once you see all your tasks, and then you start picking them one after the other, I'm pretty sure you don't do all of them in a day.
It's not possible. It's not possible.
So what time do you start work? What time do you have to end? And what do you do after? What do you do outside of work?
Okay, so now I'm trying to stay balanced, kind of. I think I used to be a workaholic where even after closing time, I'm found working. So now my kids are grown. I've got two of them. They're questioning, Dad, are you still working? And then, when they ask you such questions, even if at that moment you're saying, yes, I am, I have to work, you have to, after a while, those questions begin to come back to you to say, there's a reason why your kid is asking you, are you still working?
Yeah.
Do you need to spend time with them? So right now I'm trying to stay balanced. All right. So 10 p.m. I try to log off.
You try.
Yes, you caught that. I try to log off.
Right.
All right. My wife has been the most amazing. She's very patient. But then, when you say someone is patient, how long can
they be patient for?
Yeah. You know how you women are.
Oh my God.
Okay, let's get there. But yeah, so I'm trying to stay balanced where, I keep work time, family time.
So does that mean you don't work on weekends since you want to have family time?
Well,
how bad do you want it?
Yeah, it comes back to that. Because you see, as much as I'm working for this company, that company, I'm also trying to build my own company on the side. You get what I mean? So Saturdays are for my private clients. I think I've been so good at my job that my first IT job, the company, the owner of the company, is I'm still working with him.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's nice.
Yes.
That's very nice. So what do you do outside of work? What do you do for fun apart from, family? And what do you do to satisfy your
stress?
To let go. Yeah, to let go of stress.
I can listen to music for days. And because I've studied music, so I'm very, very analytical when it comes to music. When I'm listening to music, I'm not enjoying the same thing you're enjoying. It's amazing.
Yeah.
If we play music now, and I would ask you questions.
Music, so.
Yeah, so you get what I mean. You're enjoying the fun, and everything, but I'm deep into it. So yeah, music is it.
Food for the soul. It is really food for the soul. Yeah. When you're stressed out and your soul is hungry.
Correct.
Right.
Correct.
So let's have one last question. So before we round up, I want to know what your plans are for the future. you said you're starting your own business, but apart from that, how's that going as well?
Yeah, it's going well. Like I said, I mean, the companies I've had to work for, over these past years, interestingly, they become my clients. You get what I mean? Which is really cool, So they're forming like the startup, clients for me, The future, of course, is for me to own my IT company and then to stay relevant. I think the future is going to be so interesting. I feel like, if I have the opportunity to live 100 years more, I would, because the future is interesting. A lot has changed since COVID.
Yeah,
I can tell. I mean, who would have thought, like I said, that an AI you'll be sitting here, AI is at home working, doing your stuff. It's interesting, and I think
it's just going to get better.
Yeah, exactly.
And I cannot wait to actually see, because I was talking to the last person I spoke to, was talking about how AI would be able to do everything you want to do, because it knows your likes, your preferences.
Exactly.
Like if you want to have a holiday, it books your flights, it buys clothes for you, it does everything. All you have to do just...
that one is in place already,
and it's actually fun to hope for the future.
Yeah.
So, as usual, I always like to end the show with a game.
Okay.
And this time we'll be doing, I don't know the name of this game, but we would have quite a number in mind, and we'll be guessing what the number is for 60 seconds. We are only allowed to ask yes or no questions. Right. Do you have your number?
Okay. Yeah, but I'm thinking security now. What if I shift to the post? I think of a number, and then when you're close to it, then I shift it.
No, you cannot do that. You have to be honest.
Okay. Yeah.
You have to be honest. Okay, so do you want to go first, or should I go first?
Okay, I've got a number in my head.
All right. How do we set a timer? I'm not on my phone. I would have done that. But let's try. Let's start. Instead of having a timer, let's have 10 questions.
Okay, for you to guess the number.
Guess the number.
Okay, that's it.
Right.
Okay.
So
let's see.
Okay. Right. Is the number greater than 100?
No, less than.
Okay. That's good.
Okay. Yeah, I think I will have the same question directed at you. Is it greater than 100?
No, I would do mine first. Then once I'm done.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
I think the one I've seen on social media is, you just keep asking.
Oh, should we do that?
No, it's okay. Let's do your own.
Okay.
Yeah.
Is it less than 50?
No.
So it's greater than. I have 8 questions left. Is it greater than 75?
Yes.
Oh.
7 questions left.
Okay. Is it greater than 90?
No. And yes?
It's 90.
It is 90. But I made it easy for you. I made it, as soon as I said no and yes, you just guessed it. Straight up. That was good. That was good. That was good guess.
Let me have a number in my head now.
Okay.
Okay. I have a number.
Okay. Greater than 100?
Yes.
Why? Okay. Greater than 150?
Yes.
Greater than 200?
Yes, you're going to have to go farther than that.
What? Oh, my word. Greater than 500?
You need to go farther than that.
Greater than 1,000?
Yes.
Okay, I give up already. Oh my word!
What? I think we could do it this way, and we have to ensure that it's within the 100.
Yeah, I think I've asked 10 questions already.
So I'm going to have you do a redo, but I'm going to choose a number less than 100.
Okay, I think that should have been like a rule.
Yes, less than 100. So let's go.
How would you go? So what? Okay,
I just had the binary number in my head.
There she goes. Back-end developers.
I was dealing with binaries earlier today. So
oh my word!
I just had that in my head. So sorry.
Okay.
So I have a number now.
Less than 100, I guess.
Yes.
Okay, fine. Greater than 50?
Yes.
Greater than 70?
No.
Okay, less than 60?
Yes.
Less than 50?
No.
55?
No. How many questions?
I think I've asked.
How many?
I think I've asked.
No, 5, right? Why are you?
Five. I think I've asked 5 questions. So you said it's not 55.
Yes.
It's less than 60.
That 55 is also, part of the question, by the way.
Yeah. So that makes it 5.
Oh, are you sure?
Yeah.
All right.
My bro out there got me, So, okay. So, is it greater than 55?
Yes.
I've got 4 more questions. 56?
No.
57?
No.
59?
Yes.
I had to take my chance. I had to. Oh my word, that was close. Okay.
Oh my God.
All right.
Oh, that was actually really fun.
Awesome.
That was fun. Thank you so much, John, for chatting with me. I can't wait to see what you would achieve in the next couple of years.
Don't worry, I might be, flying my jet private.
Right, and I'll be right there with you. With my husband, of course.
Awesome stuff.
Yeah,
awesome
so
stuff.
Until then, guys and folks and John, laters. See you next time. Bye-bye.